This is the finale of my three-part series, Coaching the Champ, in which I take a look at Phil Hellmuth's play in his victory in the World Series of Poker Razz Event this year. We are down to heads-up action, and Phil has got about a 3-to-1 chip advantage here. I think he can actually smell the bracelet at this point. But let's see whether it is luck or skill that gets it for him. In this hand, he's got the bring-in with a 6, but he's got plenty to back it up. Zewin raises him, and Phil just flat calls. 4th street, of course, Zewin is going to bet. Phil makes the call. 5th street now, Zewin checks it over to Phil, checks it right back. 6th street, Zewin again checks, and Phil is now going to lead out, and Zewin will fold. So, if I were talking to Phil about this hand, I would say that it's a little bit odd that you would flat his completion on 3rd with a hand as strong as a 3-card 6. Now, Zewin had shown, from all accounts, a little bit of tight passive play, especially heads up here. So when he completes, he's going to have a reasonably strong range. It's not going to be with any 2 cards. And I agree that sometimes it is good to trap your opponents, keep your range wide, especially on the early streets. When you're only putting in small bets, hopefully you can trick them into making some missteps on the big bet streets, and you can get more value that way. But in this case, I think his range is a little bit too strong to do that. I would definitely come over the top on 3rd street. Now, 4th street, certainly an automatic call, given that Zewin, even if Zewin we know has a 4-card 8, it would be a reasonable spot to call because of the implied odds here and having such a smooth 3-card hand. 5th street, they both catch a jack here. And when Zewin checks, it's a pretty good spot to bet here, unless you can put him on trying for a check raise. I mean, at this point, I think he's kind of admitting that he has a brick in the hole, and you might want to get some value here. On 6th street, you catch slightly better than he does, and certainly when he checks here, you've got to bet, which you do, and if he were trying to draw even at a jack 8, I'd say it's a decent chance he would call here, but he didn't, so maybe he's not willing to chase drawing at a jack 8 in small pot, or maybe he wasn't even drawing at a jack